Hello and welcome back to WWE ECW. It's episode number 36, and we're back to watch more EC fucking W. It's another episode. It is indeed another episode that exists. Are we getting matches we've seen before? Yes. Are we seeing Extreme Expose again, 36 weeks in to watching ECW? Yes. But are we slightly heading towards storylines? Kind of. Kind of. This is the 13th of February 2000 edition of WWE ECW. So, yeah. The night starts off with a ECW World Title match. It's also Extreme Rules, with Bobby Lashley once again defending against Hardcore Holly. Now, you may think that because Snitsky is about, Snitsky's going to interfere and cost Bobby Lashley the World Title. That does not happen. Snitsky's nowhere to be fucking seen. You got anything about this match? Because I have none.
Well, Jesus. Hello, anyways. Yeah, I'm here. Hello. Yeah, well, it's not just a solo podcast with Ash. I'm actually here. My thoughts is, yeah, this is the opening match. It's just to get the crowd hyped. Because, like, TNA at this time are opening the show with Matt Bentley versus Chris Sabin versus Alex Shelley. They'll really get the crowd pumping, to really show total non-stop action. Matt Bentley, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, three-way match. Get the crowd hyped. What does WWE ECW open with? Bobby Lashley, Hardcore Holly. Now, on one hand, you have Matt Bentley. On the other hand, you have Bobby Lashley. Which one's more shit? Spoiler, it's Bobby Lashley. I don't care. Matt Bentley's just an underrated joke that I always bring up because it's Matt fucking Bentley. And the fact he had to change his name from Michael Shane because WWE were going to hire someone called Michael Shane. That was not him. Or Sugarcane and Hams or whatever the fuck his name was. But yeah, this is to open the crowd. This is to get the crowd hyped. Did it get people hyped? I want to say maybe.
I want to say no.
This is an interesting opening match. Not much really happens. They just go back and forth, trade punches. At one point, I think Holly kicks a chair into Bobby Lashley's face. And another point is that Hardcore Holly fears tables as he sets up a table and he does not want to go through it.
Puts it away.
He puts it away. Bobby Lashley sets up a table. He puts it away.
Lashley kind of nice considering he fucked his back up on a table the last time.
Yeah.
So I call it in a sense, but also shit.
And also then Bobby Lashley basically just dominates him. He wins because they're obviously
slams him onto a chair.
Because again he is. I'm gonna be real, and this might be controversial. At this point in his career, he's gone into the biggest match possible. Like he's at WrestleMania. He's arguably this is probably one of his great achievements that he defended the title at WrestleMania 37. I want to say in WWE terms, you want to include his MMA and TNA stuff you can, but in terms of WWE, this is going to be the biggest get of his. It's going to be the biggest paycheck he ever fucking gets. I know none of the hype surrounds him. He's just literally there. But fucking hell, this is what we're building Bobby Lashley for, and whether it's good or not is something. But he will show us on the night. It's not for another week or another month. But yeah, this match is just essentially Bobby Lashley get over. A little, but from what I've heard on commentary from Joey Styles is next week there's going to be a special Raw episode. We're not watching it, where Trump and McMahon go face to face. So obviously that's probably where Bobby Lashley gets announced, and that's where Umaga gets announced for Vince McMahon probably, and that's where you have the big brawl. Well, the big brawl, and you just have Trump stood there. But yeah,
yeah.
That's the match, and that's basically what they're building up to. If you couldn't tell, that's what they're building up to. The next match is. Wait, no, it's
No, we don't get a match yet. We don't. We get Extreme Expose. Wait, do we? No.
We get CM
Can we get
Punk.
that? That's it. Fuck. I think they fucked the order of this. Fuck it. I'm going by their order. Who cares about the actual order? Next up, we have the Extreme Expose, and the person wrote this saying they tried to dance. Yeah. And then Kevin Thorne and Marcus Corvon come out, and Kevin Thorne looks scary, and they get scared and leave.
I made the point of Vince is Vince, as we know, like, because if you've watched the WrestleMania 36 documentary they did in the pandemic, Vince will go out there and do the stunt himself to show the wrestlers, look, this is how the stunt's possible. He did it with Gronk in like 2020, where Gronk had to jump off the little balcony. So do you reckon Vince was backstage going, first you have to do this, then you have to do that, then you have to do this, then you have to do that? Like, he's just...
I mean, it was always a joke, but they fucking... Kelly always said that Vince kind of taught her how to dance.
Because if he's a showman and he wants his product to be shown how he wants it, you have to admit, he's probably there putting on a bit of AC/DC, fucking belting it out. You know, yeah, the reason I brought up AC/DC is because there's a news article that comes out, or like an interview that comes out in a few weeks' time, in this time period in 07, where they interview McMahon, and obviously they're hyping him up for WrestleMania. And one of the writers goes, so Vince, what music do you listen to when you're in the gym? You know, a little bit of AC/DC, you know, a bit of rock. And also fun fact, for that WrestleMania, Metallica wanted to perform Enter Sandman for Sandman, but Vince turned around and went, don't know who you are, lads, fuck off. So it's a funny fucking story of, like, he listens to AC/DC, but he doesn't know Metallica. But yeah, Kelly can't dance. The other two can barely dance.
No, Layla can dance, and Brooke's not too bad, but
it's also it's funny in a sense, because you think it's supposed to get the crowd hyped, but it's kind of like
the crowd is muted pretty much.
Yeah, because the crowd don't give a shit.
They just don't care.
But yeah, that's
I'm not sure why you would. Like I joked earlier, it's been 36 weeks of this bullshit. If it's not over now, it's never gonna be over. Stop fucking trying.
It's like the one thing I never understood.
At least at the start, they actually start. It's gonna sound really misogynistic. At least at the start, the crowd had something to enjoy as they were taking off their fucking clothes. Now they're just dancing shittily.
At least, like, because the one thing I never understood with Nitro, like WCW Nitro, when they had the Nitro girls out, what the fuck's the point in that? You're taking up TV time that could be given to your undercard. I don't understand, WCW had a lot of egos, and it was a very much different time. But what are you doing? Like, why are you bringing dancers out fucking hey, look at us dance? I don't give a shit. I'm here to see Bobby Lashley and RVD. I didn't buy my ticket to Orlando, Florida. I bought my ticket to Worcester, Massachusetts. So let me see Bobby Lashley and Marcus Corvon. You pricks. Stop it. Yeah, we get Marcus Corvon in. Kevin Thorne versus Sandman and Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer and Sandman do a crowd entrance.
The only thing that was interesting is fucking Monty Brown pounced the fuck out of someone.
The one thing
about 2 minutes.
The one thing I want to bring up is obviously Sandman's running. He's running to jump the barricade, but the way he runs, I thought he's going to trip and just fucking fall over.
Like that fucking dad who throws the fucking the cricket ball. As he just fucking trundles forward for about 14 steps.
Monty Brown immediately pounces Tommy Dreamer, and that's all that happens to Dreamer. Not much else happens. Sandman wants to use his cane, but obviously Monty Brown wants to use his cane on Sandman, but Sandman gets the is smart, so he literally, when Monty Brown's holding it, he drops him on his back, having the cane, and then Kevin Thorne, while the referee's distracted, grabs the cane and does the old Triple A. You hold this stick like that, and fucking. Which I've never understood in terms of wrestling. outside of wrestling, I've understood. So you don't literally want to cripple them. But why did you not just gimmick the head of the sledgehammer?
I mean, it's easier.
Yeah, I always found it weird when he was like, he had out the sledgehammer, he's holding like the top of it like that,
Yeah,
like gripping it. It always weirded me out. Like, just impale him, you prick.
I'm good, thanks. But yeah, Mark Scorvin and Kevin Thorne win. That makes it 1 for the new breed. In a backstage segment, Teddy Long invites Bobby Lashley to SmackDown. Yep, cool. Then we get the return. The return. CM Punk taking on Mike Knox, who I believe has been sent down to developmental for a couple months. Not because he's remarkably shit, because I think he's decently fine, but just because they didn't know what the fuck to do with him. Vince had his fun making him a cuck, so they're like, fuck it. See ya. See ya, cunt.
It's always weird, like, because the amount of people I've heard that are in developmental. But let me think of who was in developmental or was offered a developmental deal. There was Kenny Omega. Was his name Kip Sabian? Not Kip Sabian. What the fuck's his name? Frankie Kazarian. That's who I'm thinking of. I think Brian was offered one. Nigel McGuinness wasn't offered one multiple times. He was offered one near the end. Obviously, you have Moxley, Rollins, Reigns, fucking...
Yeah.
Like, if you want to include NXT talent,
Jinder Mahal.
Greatest WWE champion ever. Fucking, I love that one match you had it against Shinsuke Nakamura at SummerSlam 2018. Obviously, if you include NXT, then you obviously have Cole, Fish, O'Reilly, Strong, and all those cunts. But yeah, the amount of people that like showed up. Also, it is true as Frankie Kazarian was in WWE in like 2006. Because he went, WWE will treat me better than TNA. And then he went back to TNA.
I mean, sorry to break to you, Kaz. Even now, you're still a bit of a boring cunt. Like, love you, legend. You're a great wrestler, but you are boring as fuck. I'm a Frankie Kazarian fan.
Yeah,
he is still boring as fuck. He likes metal.
I know,
but
it's funny to imagine, like, in his head, he thinks, "Wow, I'm gonna be like the next John Cena. I'm gonna be the next Randy Orton, the next big thing." Oh, you put me on velocity. Oh, Dixie, I'm sorry, Dixie. Can I come back, please? Please.
Yeah.
But
and then even when he was like supposed to be pushed in TNA, they chose Chavo and Hernandez over him.
And then AEW, when they wanted to do the Elite Hunter, they had him just be battered for weeks on end.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I do love the Elite Hunter Frankie Kazarian because he was so shit. He was so shit. Because he was literally like a...
And then he went back to TNA. It's like, oh, maybe he'll be world champion. Wrong.
But he was on WWE recently. He was on NXT in like July. In a battle royal, he lasted to the final 3, which on like someone in the contract had to put him in there. Someone was forced to put him number 3, and he's just on TNA floating around. But yeah,
it is wild to be a world to not be a TNA world champion, and Steve Macklin is. No disrespect to him. He's actually really good, but.
I mean, the thing with
TNA... it's Frankie Kazarian. He's a fucking TNA legend.
Was Christopher Daniels even ever TNA World Champion? He definitely...
I don't think he was ever TNA World Champion. I'm pretty sure he won his only world title in ROH.
Fucking what a shame. Christopher Daniels was better than...
But what do you mean? Ring of Honor's great. Everybody loves Ring of Honor, right, guys? Right?
We all remember Ring of Honor when they had the Young Bucks in Skrull and Hangman.
Still never watched it then?
Yeah, never did. Yeah, I tried, but I couldn't. Didn't like the presentation of it. But yeah, this is enough about that. But yeah, I just want to say very quickly. Imagine being so shit they have to send you back to development. But yeah, you have like people like Kevin Thorne.
Obviously at this time, there's only a handful of good wrestlers. Like fucking Batista's your world champion currently, for fuck's sake. Like he can only do about 7 moves.
Yeah, and there's only a few in WWE who are generally like good.
Like Finley's a main event. I mean, obviously Finley can wrestle, but like, I don't know, man. It's such a weird choice of you just don't fit what we want right now. What do you want? I don't fucking know. Going back to developmental. Cheers. It's just such a bizarre. I just don't. Mike Knox is serviceable enough. He doesn't need to go back to developmental. Kevin Thorne doesn't need to go to developmental. They're fine. Just fucking give them some actual good shit to work with. Give them something to care about, and they'll probably do it quite well. But no, Kelly. Did Kelly ever go to developmental? I don't fucking think so.
I mean, you're comparing like the main you're comparing fucking Mike Knox to Kelly. You don't think they needed Kelly in developmental?
Yeah, but she's a women's champion.
I mean, yeah, so was Santina Morella.
Shading the women's division. But yeah, I just it's like what's the point? What's the point of sending all these guys to developmental when you know that they're good enough? They're good enough to be on ECW, for fuck's sake. Like, you need all the people you can get. Mate, Mike Knox is basically an ECW original at this point. Fucking, he served his time.
It was a weird thing with Vince where he didn't really wrestle his style of how he viewed wrestling, and he considered you green. He wouldn't really, push you. Because if you ever heard the original story for AJ Styles, obviously he comes out in the Rumble, and Vince is obviously thinking, "Oh, nobody's going to get a nobody reaction." But then he hits the crowd going, "Yeah, AJ, fuck yeah!" It's like, he's not going to get that reaction tomorrow on Raw, and then look,
he obviously does.
And then he does, and then Vince's like, "I had no plans for you, kid, but you're so over, I have to push you." So you can even tell he's out of touch, even in 2016, and this time as well, you can tell he's out of touch because clearly they want Punk, they want Sabu, they want Sandman, but who's world champion? Lashley. Oh. But yeah, it's
just such a weird approach.
It's a system I never really get because surely I understand they really want to set themselves aside of being a different kind of, I want to say, sport wrestling company.
I mean, it feels like you have to be a proper cunt to just be sent to developmental.
Yeah.
You have to be annoying enough to not even bother keeping around.
Like, I believe they send legends down there to developmental. Like, I believe they would like send Shinsuke Nakamura down there to wrestle some of the lads. And he even had to go to developmental. So
I mean, it's like Bryan Danielson even wrestled. I'm pretty sure he wrestled either wrestled Claudio or Cabal or Loki in FCW before he fucked off to to actual main roster. NXT.
It's a weird system that I never got, and I think it should be done away with because
I get it. This is an FCW fan. I love shit FCW. But it's like they're better than this. You can say they're on fucking national TV, for fuck's sake.
It's something that will
it's
happen.
Like why was Mike Knox sent to developmental? Because he wasn't that great, and you made him a fucking cuck for 6 months. Who cares? Who fucking cares about him? Like what? He's supposed to be a really bad guy because he battered Kelly. Who the fuck cares? You made him face off with it. I don't know. It's so weird. It's like Test. Test did more than enough to deserve to stick around in this period. Obviously, the steroid scandal is yet to pop. But he did more than enough to warrant a place in ECW.
And
but
spoiler,
there's only one world champion.
And spoiler, in 2 weeks' time,
one title in general.
In 2 weeks' time, Test gets released. Spoiler. So yeah.
Yeah.
See you, Test. Thanks for coming, player.
See you, legend.
I don't think
you were actually quite good for what you had to do.
I think no, it's probably my conspiracy, but my honest thing is like when I think he was ruined ever since they like wanted him to marry Stephanie in kayfabe, and then they had Triple H, so basically just pushed him to the side, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then they didn't really know what to do with him. Then I think you obviously had Stacey Keebler being like, haha, testicles. And then you obviously had Scott Steiner like probably calling him the F slur. Let's be real. Let's be real. It's 2003. And Steiner would do it. Let's be real. And then he just gets cooked, and then he gets released again. Then they bring him back for ECW. Like another person who was going to be on ECW, to my knowledge, was Sean O'Haire, but it never worked out. And I'm like, if Sean O'Haire was in 2007 ECW,
Oh, mate, honestly, it'd be fucking amazing.
like, man,
Obviously, you don't need to keep the devil's advocate gimmick. You don't need to do that. But he fits the fucking style, right? Like, he fits ECW to a fucking, like a glove.
If he had the devil's advocate and he's the like head honcho of the fucking new breed, oh, because I still, I don't care what anyone says. Jeff Hardy, you can say just the best swanton. He does not. It's fucking Sean O'Haire. That like he's 6 foot.
Well, he's just so much more physically impressive.
Yeah, he's like what, 6'3", 4", do the swanton bomb. Oh, like I always.
It's just criminal how it didn't work.
It's sad, but if he was around in this time, he would stick out. I guess he would kind of be like your Keith Lee's now, or Dominic Dijakovic. I guess is a better example because Keith Lee's not being used. The fuck, because he's sick. But yeah, Sean O'Haire was supposedly getting a contract. He had a few dark matches.
Oh, mate, apparently, one thing I've learned is that Stevie Richards, he's coming back. He's coming back to ECW. And we finally get the, I'll show you. You'll see.
Dr. Stevie in the house.
He's back. Fucking love you, legend. Mate, I'm looking forward to it. I'll fucking scream when I hear that theme music. There's nothing stopping me. But yeah, it's just like somehow Vince managed to kill ECW so unbelievably quickly. Like it was handled so poorly. And it's just another in the fucking crock of shit where it's like, well, were you made here? No, fuck you then. It's great. Cheers. That's real mature.
I mean, there's a story where in 1998 in WCW, because obviously WCW had this like thing before WWE called the Power Plant, and there's a story that goes that one wrestler came from the Power Plant in '98 and he was on like Saturday Night Fever or whatever the show was called, and he fought Finlay. But obviously he's telling Finlay, I want to do this, I want to do that. So Finlay's like, okay, cunt, come here. And he just beats the shit out of him. And then the guy literally, from what I've heard, the guy literally grabs his bags. He's still in his gear. When he finishes the match, he goes backstage, grabs his stuff, still in his gear, hops in the car and leaves, and is never seen again because Finlay put the frights on him. But yeah, the Power Plant was another thing that never succeeded. Which let's be fair, probably the Power Plant was they're probably smoking cigarettes and shit. Like, you can do a back bump, you're fine. Get in that fucking ring now, pal. Because the Power Plant was mental. Cena was at the Power Plant, I believe. Weirdly. But yeah, the next match is the main event. Oh no, Snitsky comes. Wait, have we talked about Punk?
We haven't talked. No, we talked about Mike Knox, but we then talked about Developmental. So yeah, CM Punk versus Mike Knox. Standard Punk match. He's getting through his comeback shit. You know, fucking running knee, jumping like clothesline, springboard clothesline. Still doesn't have the GTS yet. Hits him with the Anaconda Vice. And like we said earlier, you expect that Snitsky's going to be helping out Hardcore Holly. He just appears and attacks CM Punk.
Yep. And
is there any rhyme or reason to it? Not really. And no one cares either.
And the main event is the New Breed, Elijah Burke and Matt Striker versus
RVD and Sabu.
Now, you think because they're building the New Breed, they'd get an entrance. No, RVD and Sabu do. And then we cut to commercial.
Entrance.
Yeah, we cut to commercial. And then, who's in the ring? It's the New Breed. Woo.
And they win, despite not getting an entrance. They win after a really awful looking spot where Elijah Burke is supposed to like kick Sabu's legs out when he's doing a springboard Arabian facebuster or whatever the fuck. But he kicks it so awkwardly, Sabu just kind of lands on him anyways. And then he rolls him up for the 3. So the new breed, a 2-0 against the originals. Doesn't this really create excitement for next week where the originals are going to beat the new breed again? But they're going to swap it this time. And you're so excited. You're really excited. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?